Hi, I'm Danielle. I do too much. I like hair, talking, cosplay, music, art, and stuff.
Hi, oh my gosh, welcome back. It's been so long that I'm in a different land. Just kidding, this is another wall. Hello and welcome to StarPuppy. I'm Danielle, your resident weirdo, and I'm back! Pre-ew, but I really missed you guys. But I really did. I really did miss you guys. On Instagram and my community tab here on YouTube, I asked all of you guys what you want to see from me on a coming back to YouTube kind of vibe. And y'all were very instrumental in that. Thank you. In fact, I'd like to do some shout outs. Christiana Underwood 92, you said, happy you took your break. And I really appreciate that. Trey Ivy, you used the little sparkly things, and that was the first one I saw. And you a real one. I appreciate that. If you want shout outs, make sure to follow me on Instagram and respond to the things I ask, because I really do read as many as I can and reply to as many as I can. I just really like you guys. You're so nice. Do community with me. Do it now. Friend now. Camaraderie immediately. And on the community tab, I also noticed Sylvia Wahito asked me to sing. And so, I've got life goals. Fluffnugget first. Past my collarbones. It will be worth it. And my hobbies will be the goals of 2021. I will also be bringing back 20 talks. And my hobbies will be on full display. And I hope you'll come back every week and play. I'm excited for this year, hip yip, hooray. On Saturdays, I'm going to be doing my usual hair care thing, skin care occasionally perhaps. Switch it up from now and again, but usually hair care. On Tuesdays, the Tuesday Talks are returning. Some might know them as 20s Talks. And then on Thursdays, I have a new segment coming out called The Chaos Corner. And who knows what can happen in the Chaos Corner? Me! But you'll soon find out. Also, this mic is new. I'm trying to give you good audio instead of bad audio. And I'm having to split the difference of being a good on-camera person and a good mic-disciplined person. And it's actually more complicated than I previously thought. So, a lot of people on Instagram and the community tab were like, hey, in terms of what we want to hear about, what shows and movies have you been watching on your break? I'll tell you now. So I decided to, for the first time in a long time, be on the basic train and actually watch something that is popular at the time it is popular. Not super good at that. And I've been watching Bridgerton. I had my cute family over and we watched Bridgerton. We watched the first 2 episodes and we were all like, which is so rare for us all to be so into a series. And then everyone was starting to go home and we had only watched 2 episodes and we were all giving each other the eye of, so are we gonna watch this as a family? No. And we were like, oh, thank goodness. So we all started like watching it on our own, like at our own places and our own paces. And I was so happy. We decided to not watch that as a family because things get real spicy. like extreme, like opulence and self-indulgence and decadence, and the aesthetic that's assigned to those times, particularly Victorian England. Yes! That whole, like, Rococo, that aesthetic is my second favorite aesthetic, second only to high fantasy Middle Earth. I know I'm supposed to like it because he's so fine and like she's so witty, but I'm like, oh, these costumes. I'm down for the costumes and for the set design, and oh my gosh, the cinematography. So I'm coming at this show from a very different space. I have a background in so much stuff, but one of those things being on-screen acting and voice acting. And I was never into the set design or camera operating, best boy electricity. I was never into that kind of stuff because I'm not physically strong enough to do a lot of like crew stuff. And I'm not emotionally strong enough either, let's be honest. But I am blown away by the ability of Shondaland and just like Netflix, and I'm just so impressed with television these days. I'm so impressed. It's movie quality. I love it. So I always get lost in the details, like the fine china and how so many of the women never wear the same dress twice. The hair and the makeup. Oh my gosh. Just the setting. I would watch it just for the setting. A friend of mine actually told me where one of the sets is, and that she has a dentist in one of the sets. It's like, it looks like an old castle to my American eyes, but she's like, yeah, no, that's a business park. And I'm like, England's so old. On my break, I was having so much fun being able to hang out with my D&D group. One time, I think it was on my break, time is an illusion, we just got on and then we just started ranting, and then we just kept ranting. It was so therapeutic. I felt very seen. I really, 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 really love D&D. It's a really great outlet. It makes so much sense, especially now, to get into it. For those who aren't familiar, D&D is Dungeons and Dragons. I've gotten into it in the last several months, actually, and I'm having a great time. What you do in Dungeons and Dragons is that you create a character. If you play video games, it's a lot like JRPGs. It is a role-playing game, RPG. So I'm really into it. I have a Summer Oladrin bard. Her name is Dahlia, a name I wish I was named, but it's fine. So she's a character who talks like this, and she's a little off kilter all the time. Essentially, she just talks people into submission because she's a bard, and she will charm you. She will. Oh, splendid. But I don't always play her like that, because depending on the kind of day I've had, sometimes I forget to play her like that. It's fine. If it's a gig, I'm very consistent. But D&D, Danielle is the power seller. Sometimes Danielle out of juice. So yeah, that's been a ton of fun. I've been gearing up to go into voice acting full force, incorporate it more on the channel. Again, the Chaos Corner. If you're interested in all the things that are in my intro jingle, the Chaos Corner is going to be where they all live, in harmony or chaos or discord. We're all going to see. It's going to be a time where I'm experimenting a lot, so just hang in there with me. Show up for me if you're interested. When I was on my break, I came to realize that I needed to slow down so much. I was going Mach 20, essentially. Turns out I was like destroying my health. I had a terrible sleeping schedule. I had a terrible work schedule. I didn't have any hobbies. All I did was work. That's it. I take pride, or I have taken pride, in the fact that I'm a hard worker. I can be very self-motivated. It doesn't really take anyone hounding me to get me to do things. It's stopping that I find difficult. Once I'm in the zone, I stay in the zone. And while that's not a bad thing within reason, I was totally neglecting like my humanity. I had no hobbies. I couldn't hang out with friends. I can hang out with my family, thank goodness. But even then, I got to the point where I felt like, I should be self-sufficient. I shouldn't have to go to my family to feel better about my life. My life is awesome, and it is. All I need to do is just work more. So I think how I was coping with all of last year was to throw myself headfirst into my work, which is not a unique reaction to last year. And while I was able to make some stuff I'm really proud of, I totally burned out like 3 huge times. And even when I burned out, I still didn't take a break. And that was such a bad move. I thought about it and I was like, on my break, because I had time to think, imagine that. I really sat and thought to myself, Danielle, if you were your own best friend, which you are, and they were telling you that they've burned out 3 times and that they have no hobbies, they feel extremely isolated, and that they need a lot of support, and that they won't stop working because work is the only sense of stimulation or interest or change that they're feeling, what would you say? Take a break? You need to take a break. Last year I lost sight of what was important for me to continue to be happy and healthy. And that's why I took a break. Finally. It took all year, but I did. So what I did was watch as many shows as possible, get back into some of my hobbies, did some crafting. I made a blanket. It's nice. It's really nice. It's luxurious. I bought Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 3 or 4 years after everyone else. And I lived out my Hylian fantasy, riding one of my 4 horses, picking up herbs and cooking them, because that's my fantasy, being a little elf person just riding around cooking stuff. Oh no, there's aloe in my hairs. Oh no, there is an aloe in my hairs. Oh, I have recovered it. Cool. Anyway, I finally got to read some books I've been meaning to read. And I failed to read a book I was meaning to read. I totally failed to read The Alchemist. Every time I try to read The Alchemist, I just fail. I think it's because I know the big thing at the end. I don't even want to... Yeah, I think what was most important for me was that I rekindled my everything. I came to the understanding that I just lost track of myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I needed to rein in my life because no structure resulted in no structure. By that I mean I really enjoy events, and I plan my week around like an event because I love going outside. I'm an extroverted person. I love people and I miss them dearly. And so, for example, if there was like an expo or like a meetup or a concert or like a dog show, I love dog shows. Dogs are so cute. I would, because I work for myself, I would just go ahead and be like, okay, Danielle, this is the goal. This is the thing you're going to do when you get all your work done, because you will. And then you get to go to this thing. I'm very goal-oriented, task-oriented. So I would be like, okay, you can go to this concert. I'm going to buy these tickets. And then you're going to get all of this stuff done. And then you'll be rewarded with this concert. I like treat myself like a kid. And that works for me. After I get all my work done for the day, I tend to just wind down, take like a hot shower, do some skincare, then probably wind down with either YouTube, honestly, or video games. But at that time, the video games just weren't hitting like they were before. My favorite game of all time is Persona 5 and Kingdom Hearts 1. Yes, they're both my favorite of all time. And I just didn't want to restart the game. I had already finished so much. It just wasn't hitting. I need social interaction as like it's a necessity for me. I'm extroverted. It's real tough right now. And so what ended up happening was, because my big point of structure, the end goal, was gone. The general last year moment was pretty widespread loss of interest and loss of interest in hobbies and motivation, if you know what I'm talking about. And of course I suffered from that. I'm not special like that. I'm human too. So me taking a break was a result of me neglecting my social needs for all of 2020, and those social needs not getting met led to my physical needs not getting met. Like, I forgot to eat and stuff, and it just all compounded, and suddenly I was just running on fumes for the third time that year. And so I got that new video game. I read some books. I read The Secret. I'm reading The Four Agreements. I got back into exercise because I love to exercise. It's good for me, not just my body, but especially my mood. Woo. And also during that time when I was just like chilling out and just getting my life back and getting my energy back and just relaxing and just releasing a bunch of tension I had pent up from like the surprise season 1.5 of the US. I just mellowed out. I went and I hung out with my family. I went and I hung out in the park, just read a book, played my guitar badly, went out into the park, brought my freaking keyboard to the park with like 18 batteries in it, and played with my headphones in badly, and it was awesome. I had to restructure my life in this break. I had to. It was mandatory. And so now I also reassessed my goals and how I work and what I need to do. I've determined that I need to delegate. I am in the market for an assistant. I need that. I do. I need to delegate because I'm not going to let that happen again. My birthday is coming up and I am very torn. I want to rage, in the words of Evelyn from the internet. I want to rage on the beach for my birthday. We're gonna see. My birthday's in a month, so who knows? Maybe the beach will be all glass by then. Maybe a fire-breathing dragon will come down from the heavens. I'm in a really good spot right now, and it took a valley to get back to a peak, and there will be valleys again. But right now, I'm enjoying the view. So I think that's the video, because I am now done pre-pooing and now I have to do a whole wash day. That'll be fun. Thanks so much for coming back to my first video back. It's really great to be back. I'm happy you're here. I hope this was entertaining. I'm kind of out of practice a little bit. So what have you been up to? Have you taken a break? Like, are you okay? It's okay not to be. I'm going to be uploading hair and skincare, a little bit of beauty on Saturdays. I'll be uploading life advice and chats on Tuesdays. There'll be Tuesday Talks, previously known as 20s Talks, for everybody who's interested in those. And on Thursday is the Chaos Corner, which is a mysterious land that you must come in and check out to understand fully. Very excited for that. So subscribe and turn on notifications because I'm going to be uploading a lot more because I got my life right. This has been me, Danielle, your resident weirdo. StarPuppy signing out. Say it with me now. StarPuppy. Away!
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the video.